people will say, so what do we do? Because like we told you, we don't come here to lament and just leave you hanging. The essence of bringing the facts to you is to tell you the problem so that you connect all the problems together. Then we'll show you the solution. Enemies that must be defeated for Nigerians to free themselves. And now when you say Nigeria, also Africa, because we can see African nations doing what they're doing. So we use Nigeria as an example, but the same template will work anywhere because the enemy is the same. Colonialism and neocolonialism is the same. So number one enemy that Nigerians must defeat in Njenje, what's the name? Damages. What all these stupid girls that are on social media saying one stupid thing or the other? What's the other girl's name in New York? All of them have become to Abiodu or Abiola. They have become big girls and bigger because they're making money on social media. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything to save the people. And when they look at you, you beat your chest. Yeah, I'm doing something important because I'm telling the people about the stupid people like you. What is the solution? You should be part of the solution, not celebrating ignorance, celebrating stupidity and promoting it because you want to make money and buy the fastest car. Don't you have conscience?
They don't. So money.
Number one enemy that needs to go down for Nigerians to have life and Africans to have life is British Caliphate Joint Venture Partnership. Of course, led by Fulani. Fulani is on conquest mission. We told you people. Some people don't want to hear it, but that's why we say you need to get fact checked. What we're saying, go and check it. Go and read it. We're not saying things that dropping from anywhere. It's not about having sentiments. It's not being emotional. Facts. Go and cross-check them. You will understand and it will make sense to you that you know what to be doing at this time. Fulani Caliphate is on conquest mission. And they're eliminating communities, destroying communities. Why are they on conquest mission? Like we said, the Fulanis want the land. But Britain wants what is under the land. They've shared it. They are partners. That's why we say joint venture. So joint venture, this partnership is your number one enemy. It must be destroyed. So we break it down for you. From 1914 to 1960, what you see, if you go and study, because we want you to go and check. 1914 to 1960, what the colonial monsters did was to prepare Fulani invaders, equipping them for the job they're going to do for them.
Yep.
And that is why by 1960, Ahmadu Bello came out with that battle script that my sister read at the beginning of this show. That battle script is details of constitution plan for Nigeria. What in short form, and they published it, October 1960. This is our assignment, and this is what we do to you Nigerians. People heard it. It's still there. Go and read it. What's the other woman that calls herself a lawyer? Nezeville, that entertaining our people. You can tell stories, but you're a lawyer. You don't know what constitution is. Are you daft? Go and check it. So 1914 to 1960, they prepared them. 1966, Muhammad and Gowon truncated the 4 regions. Remember, the 4 regions is the basis of the true federal system and freedom for the indigenous people. They like what they did 1884-85, balkanization. They balkanized the 4 regions and broke everything. They put everything inside container and just massacred it, and then brought out 12 states, which today became 36 states. The aim of what they did was to break the indigenous peoples everywhere. That's why Igbo people are in over 11 states, scattered, and they will not come together. Yoruba people scattered, Tiv, Ijo, everybody scattered. You have one Igbo man in Imo State. You have one Igbo man, like I told you, my father-in-law, they are in Edo State, but he goes to Delta for family meeting because that's where some of his family members in Abo are. It's like that. People are divided. is divide and conquer. 1966 to 70, they codified all these things, all the stolen assets through the imposed constitutions. I told you, some people, when we mention 1999, say, but other constitutions have been there now. It's the same thing. They will just embellish it and carry it forward. From 1914, 1960, 1966, 1979, 1999. That's what we'll tell you the latest version is 1999. You didn't start 1999. Absolutely. They had to push it forward. So these are the imposed instruments of the enemy. So we told you the enemy, the partnership. We're talking about the enemy that you must defeat. The partnership and then the instruments that they're using to do what they're doing, which is the constitution. So the indigenous people of Nigeria were never part of the process of making their own constitution. They just made it and imposed on the people. And then some ignorant people will tell you that, oh, but it's Nigerians that made it. That's not what we're saying. The colonial masters codified it, wrote everything, and gave to your puppets and say, go and now put it in place. And they put it in place. So is it the people that made it? It's not the people that made it. That's why we say it's fraud. And when they finish doing all this nonsense, they put big signature and say, we the people. That means that the people made it, which is a lie. And that's a false.
I don't know why that's not upsetting people. Like, I don't know why they're not stopping everything like right now and said, hell to the no.
Religion. That's why. The fake Christianity and fake Islam washed them into accepting nonsense. And my dear brother, but Ebed Damina that is teaching Christianity, he's not seeing this injustice. He's not seeing this fraud. What other fraud? What other falsehood are you going to be shouting against? You're only shouting about the falsehood that your brothers used to do tithe and offering. Is that the only falsehood? They are all tied together. If you don't see how these things are tied together, my brother, please go and study more. It'd be like saying you need another doctorate degree because the two you have might not be doing enough. All these things are tied together. So what is the plan? How are we going to defeat this enemy? Thank God for people that have been working for over 25 years. So building consensus against the enemy is simple, common sense. We gather together, we the victims of the enemy, assemble, gather together, have a plan at regional level, national level, and international level. We got together. Yes, it has already happened. They've started it the past 25 years. That's the work that Ninas has been doing. 3 broad strategies. Just three broad strategies. Building alliance against the enemy, against the invader. That's the colonizers. Building alliance against the enemy's instrument. That's the constitution. The third one, enforcement mechanism against the enemy and the instrument. Is this not simple? Somebody is coming at you. You form an alliance against the person, against the instrument the person is using, and then enforce the alliance that you have formed. Is that not very simple? Very straightforward. What is difficult in this thing that in Njenje will not understand it and push it? What is difficult in this thing that Chiedu, Asus will not understand it? That when you discuss with him, say, I don't understand it, but you'll be pushing every other thing that doesn't make sense. Internet doesn't forget to. If people remember, all these names I'm calling, internet doesn't forget. Eventually, the people will get this information. We pleaded with you people. Explain this thing to people. You will not explain to them. You'll be bringing useless things to them as the people are perishing. Eventually, they will get this message. And then, woe betide you. Woe betide all of you that failed to take this message. Both church people, woe betide all of you. The day the indigenous peoples, those ignorant people, those natives, those villagers that are dying, the day they will get this message, woe betide all of you. 6 blocks of tax because we broke down the work that needed to be done so that we defeat the enemy into 6 blocks. Number 1, 75% work was done around the instrument of terror. That is the 1999 Constitution, the Unitary Constitution. To do what? To decommission it. Because that is how it's done. It's a process. It's an international process. That's how it's done. So the political puppets have now acknowledged that the Constitution is bad. That means this tax was successfully done. For them to come out now and be shouting, hey, we need another constitution. That means that Nina's succeeded. That is a success. The work is done. Because that's what we wanted them to do. We want to get them to that point. Every other thing they're doing now, they're doing it outside the constitution. That's why they had to impose the interregional president outside the constitution. That's why they had to bypass 25% because they have collapsed the constitution. And they're now running around to see how they can change it. But they can't change it because it's not them that will change it. They can't impose another institution, another instrument after they remove the fraudulent one. It's not done. They can't do it without the indigenous people because the indigenous peoples are the owners of the lands. They cannot. They will try, but they cannot. That's what we're saying. The second work that needed to be done was in internal cohesion, getting the indigenous people to work together, and it's already done. You go to videos, you see solemn assemblies and everything. All the things that we are doing all this while, they did it. It's done. Another task was multi-regional alliance coming together. Alliance that is not just in one region, but all the regions, all the victims coming together. That's the name you hear, NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, excluding the Fulani invaders. Then we talk about international stakeholder community, because we realize that international stakeholder, the community, they invested in oil and gas. Some of them genuine, some of them are not genuine. Most important is that they've invested. So anything you're doing, if you don't carry them along, you get what you did not ask for. So as from that international engagement, we came out with what you call 2007 United Nations Declaration for Indigenous People's Rights. Because everything being done under NINAS is legal. There's nothing that is breaking law. We follow legal. That's why some people that say, oh, why is it that they're not disturbing you people? Because we are following the law. We're not going up and down looking for where to break law. No, we are following the law. Now, the fifth segment of the tax, I think it's not coming out at all. The color is not.
Oh my goodness! I was trying to highlight.
Too bright. Yes, in that dark brown, I think it didn't do well. So number fifth thing that needed to be done or is being done, mass mobilization to connect the people, because it's called democracy. People, to connect the people to what has been done. That is the 124 that was done, because the 124 didn't need the mass people. That's why it was not being, it was done underneath. It was covertly done. The people did it, human beings did it. You can see videos out there, YouTube, NINAS, all of them that are there for you to have evidence. So they did it. But the one that will now involve everyone is this fifth one. What will be mobilization? For those that on social media and they say, what do? We don't understand. So even if your brain, what's the other one in Yoruba land? Mayegun. Even if your brain is full of pap and you cannot understand anything, these 4 items I want to mention now is what we want you to teach our people. Number 1, that their problem is coming from that colonial imposed constitution, the latest edition, which is 1999. 2, that the solution to their problem is by terminating that imposed constitution. Every other thing anybody is telling you is a lie. 3, that is by election. There is election that gives life back to that constitution. Every 4 years that you go and do that mago that you do and call election, you're giving life back to that constitution that is killing you. And it's you that is playing the role. 4. Okay, go. So because before I mention the 4th one, because you are the one, the people, you are the one giving life to that election, to that constitution, through your validation of the constitution, saying that you made it when you didn't make it, saying democracy is going on when it's not democracy, by you being part of the election, allowing them to do the election. That is why NINAS is saying your tax is to shut down the journey to general national election. That's the mechanism of pulling down the election. Some people say, how do we pull down the election? We are not sending you to go to main road and start carrying guns. We are not saying go and start carrying a stick and broom or go and riot. That's not what we're saying. Shut down the journey. Even just on your social media, the way you did mobilization for Obi, Peter Obi, when you were doing obedient, did you carry guns and knife? How did you do that mobilization? It's the same way. When you were doing your PVC mobilization inside church, how did you do it? It's the same way. This mobilization this time around is to say we are not going to allow 2027 to happen. 2027 election, it will not take place. It will not happen. You will say it loud everywhere, inside church, everywhere. These criminal priests and reverend fathers, they'll say, how can we say it inside church? How did you say obedient inside church? They are evil people that God had rejected. That's the same way you go and say it, mobilize our people. Say it loud. Loud enough for the political parties to hear, to see that the end of the road has come for them. And they will begin to shut down. They will begin to close shops. In your neighborhood, everywhere, begin to discuss it. Say it loud. Say it. Kwoye with your mouth. Say it with your mouth. Talk am. That's all you need to do. On your mouth. We didn't say carry gun. We didn't say carry stick. Mouth. Say it with your mouth. And then, by the way, we heard that they arrested some people's leaders. They will keep arresting you now because you keep doing the wrong thing. We told you what to do. If you want things to turn around for you, join in pulling down this monster, this constitution. If you don't pull down this constitution, everything you do, if you want to declare Biafra 20 times, it will be the 4th time, the 5th time, the 6th time, you declare Biafra 7th time, declare Biafra 7th time, declare Biafra 8th time, declare Biafra 9th time, declare Biafra 10th time, you continue to declare it. You declare it in Germany, you declare it in Finland, you declare it in London, you baga na Arab, you declare it, you go to Mexico, you declare it, then you baga to Malaysia, you declare it. You will continue to declare Biafra. That's what you continue to do, is online Biafra. And if you declare too much, they come and woroge can walk, woroge, and just get somewhere. Sagisi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what you'll be doing. We are saying you're wasting our time. You're wasting our time. Do you know these things you're doing? Why are you doing it? Shouting to declare a nation is foolishness and ignorance. Why are you making us look like we are stupid? As if the school fees they paid for us, we just wasted it. Why are you disgracing Indigo like this now? And some of them will wear suits and look as if there's something inside their brain. And my poor people that didn't go to school will think they're actually doing something and give them their money. The 4th thing, you have mentioned 1, 2, 3, that you have to tell our people, you content creators, what you need to tell our people. The 4th one, demand a transition for union reconstruction in place of election. That's what you need to do. So we're talking about 6 tax. And then the 6th one, all this that we said in number 5 tax is what will connect you to Nina's 5 points proposition. And that 5 points, just briefly, I will tell you. Number 1, acknowledgement of union disputes and grievances by those currently managing Nigeria, the politicians. They need to acknowledge. Number 2, decommissioning of imposed colonial constitution. Wholesale decommissioning, not amendments. Number 3, no further elections. Please, my dear, push the next slide. No further elections. Transition, time-bound transition. Number 4, it is the owners of sovereignty that will make a new constitutional protocol, not state, not politicians, not church members, not bishop, not pope, not priest, not Britain, not America. It's the owners of the land, the indigenous people. They own the land. Tiv people, Ijaw people, Igbo people, Yoruba people, Hausa people, they know their land, they know the boundary. They are the ones that we are talking, that the indigenous ethnic nationalities. They are the ones, not the government, not Tinubu, not Peter Obi, not Atiku, not the brother, not the wife, not the mother, not the grandmother. It's the indigenous people on their land that we arrange and now discuss and bring out new constitutional protocol. And the fifth one, time-bound announcement of how and when the problem will be solved. It is only Nina's proposition, only one, that has what the problem is, what the solution is, when and how will the problem will be solved, and who will do what and what, broken down in simple terms. Anybody that is running around looking for something else to do, when you finish wasting your time, mmiri don eju doro nwa nkịta. The more you buy, continue to buy, hunger will buy you. Hausa will, Fulani will buy you. Other people will buy you. Whatever will happen to you when you finish. If you want to declare Biafra 20 times, mmiri don eju doro nwa nkịta. When you finish, you will come to Nina's proposition and we will guide you. And we are here. We are daughters of the land. We're always here. We'll guide you. So our target is to overcome colonialism through confidence building strategies. Please share widely. Leave comments and questions for us. We'll get to you. Thank you.